Hello and welcome, and yes, I mean welcome, to discovering the world of natural health. Your life, your well-being, everything about you is in your hands. You're the one that make it or break it. There may be external circumstances with situations and things, but you are the one that's in charge of your life and your health. And we believe that we at Remedy This Naturally can help to give you some pointers, some things that we can talk about that will make it worthwhile for you to be able to enjoy life abundantly. That's what it's all about. How can we get the best out of our days, weeks, years that we have to be able to know that we can do the best we can do with what's going on. I've been asked to talk about something to kind of give you guys a heads up. I like that. Heads up or heads down, we're going to talk about headaches. And what can we say about that? Well, most of the time someone has a headache, what do? They pop a pill. And next time you get a headache, can be a headache in itself by popping a pill. The next time your head throbs and you feel like someone's trying your scalp into a knot, just tying it up. Try one of the natural cures passed down from generation to generation. These common remedies are trusty fixes for stress headaches. Think about it. We always look to find out the cause. If we can find out the cause, then we can go and fix. Otherwise, we're just taking and putting the quote unquote, heard it before, hear it again, a Band-Aid on the problem. So we need to do what we can do to have a better quality of life. If there's something in a natural realm we can do, let's kind of check it out to see how much value it has and if it can be valuable to you. I would say the best thing is one of the agendas that talked about it said, double team the pain. While soaking in a hot steamy bath, hold an ice pack on your head. The combination of the hot and the cold relieves your headache. By drawing blood away from your head and narrowing the blood vessels in your scalp. So, sounds kind of crazy, but it's worth trying, right? And that is if you're taking a hot steamy bath, hold an ice pack on your head and just let it go in and draw the blood from your head and narrowing the blood vessels in your scalp. Okay, another way of doing a headache would be to wrap it up. Try tying a bandana or handkerchief around your head just above your brow. This could also reduce blood flow in your scalp and get rid of a pounding headache. So basically is get a bandana, something to go around. And I've seen actually people take kind of like a bandage or a sweatband, I guess that's what it's called, and put it around. Just make it a little bit tighter and kind of hold that pressure there and kind of retract the blood vessels to make it feel better. How about wrapping it up? We talked about that. Now this one here, we've spent time with before, and one of the reasons this works so good is because of acupressure points in the foot. Well, let me change that. Acupressure point in the feet. It's not just one foot we have, but hopefully we have 2 feet. Treat your feet. with just 1 teaspoonful of powdered mustard or ginger, you can turn a plastic basin of hot water into a fast headache cure. I didn't mean to shock you so much with that one that you didn't hear what I said, and therefore let's repeat that, okay? Now, treat your feet. You can take a teaspoonful of powdered mustard or ginger, and you just take it in hot water, and a lot of times it'll make a headache go away. Just mix the powder into water as hot as you can stand. Please don't do something stupid and burn yourself by making it so hot. You can always redo it again, but please be careful in the hot water. Then pull up your favorite chair, sit back, and let your feet soak for, I would say, around 15 minutes. It's important to cover the basin with a heavy towel to keep the heat in. Kind of wrap around the feet. You got it in a little tub that your foot's in, and keep the heat there by wrapping it up with a towel. I don't mean get it soggy, drippy, and all over the floor and make a mess. Keep your eyes closed and your muscles relaxed for the full effect of the 15 minutes. Your headache should vanish by the time the water cools. Amazing. Mustard and ginger have a way of being able to draw the toxins and the poisons out. And so think about treating your feet. How about serve up relief? To win match point against your headache. Wrap 2 tennis balls in the toe of a non-plastic sock, elastic sock. Just cotton sock is what we're saying. Then lie on your back and wedge the balls behind your neck, 1 on each side. They'll relax your neck muscle, soothe away headache causing tension. So get a cotton sock, tennis ball, and take it and get it underneath your neck. You're laying down, and leave it there, and it'll actually help pull the tension. Another thing there that I have seen happen is when pages are stuck together, you're slow and you actually get off your beaten path there. But you got someone can actually, if you have them available to do it, or if you don't, I can use something like Teifu, and I will take it and put it in my hands. I will inhale it, and it will actually help get rid of that toxicity there. And so it's important to do things that will actually distract the body, the mind, the soul, the spirit, so you can have something that just simple. Better than taking a pill that has the side effects and sometimes cause more of a headache than you already have. 1, why are you having the headache? Tension headaches are caused by muscle contractions. And those muscle contractions are in your head. Talk about the tennis ball with the neck. That's what you want to do, is go and address the cause of the headache. They are most often associated with stress, exhaustion, or repressed anger. Let's just stop for here a minute, and because this is important. If you are one that has a headache, then it's stressful. Add it to the stress that already may be causing it. So what can we do to give you the opportunity to get rid of headache? What can we do? What can we be serious about? What am I talking about that is important to your particular situation? And we may not have hit it already, but we're going to talk more about the headache. Changes in the blood vessels in your brain can cause migraines also. Migraines and cluster headaches are examples. Exercise, certain foods, or a hangover can bring these things to fruition. Other headaches are symptoms of something else, like eye strain, sinus, high blood pressure, or rare brain tumor. Even overusing headache medication, especially in combination with caffeine, can lead to what's called a rebound headache. And symptoms usually of a headache are dull, sharp, or throbbing pain, tightness, or pressure. So, talked about rubbing out. And if you know, or someone you know is a reflexologist, and someone that does massage, that they can take and help to relieve the tension. I know I hold my tension in my shoulders. And the reason being, I have a tendency to carry the weight of other people, and they sit on my shoulders, and I just need to let it go. And when I let it go, it's amazing. But then if I would have a massage done on my neck, shoulders, and you can just actually, if you'll just quit paying attention to what's going on, close your eyes, breathe in the nose, breathe out the mouth, and just let it go. Remarkably how well it works. Peppermint oil is also helpful for that. I like my eucalyptus probably most of all in helping to deal with that. Draw out the pain. To make a handy compress, okay, you're going to talk about something, draw out the pain. What can you do to draw the pain out? That's what I'm addressing at this point. To make a handy hot compress, heat up salt in a dry pan until it's warm, but not too hot. Pour the salt into a thin dish towel and bundle it up. For pain in the front of your head, hold the compress to the back of your head and rub. The dry heat from the salt could draw out the ache. These pillows that have rice in them, you can actually just throw them in the microwave for a certain amount of time, find out how your microwave does. Normally, I will put it in for about a minute. My son loves them just for snuggling purposes. He grabbed that thing and he'll just hold on to it and just feel the warmth. It's almost like getting a hug when you do a warm rice bag, or in here it talks about a salt. It's just powerful to be able to feel the warmth and the tenderness and the love. And it's so, I'm just going to say it's sad that we've gotten to the point where you can't hug, can't touch. I would say, and this is probably being truthful to my mom's favorite saying was, hugs are better than drugs. And she did a lot of talking to people, sharing with them more than anything else about stamp collecting and being able to have a hobby and learn the history behind the stamps. go to the state fair the week that it was there, and the Postal Service would give her the opportunity to work the booth every day. And she just talked, and she loved talking stamps and how they would help you have something to look forward to. Stop your headache cold. For a frozen compress, hold on your old socks, wet them, seal them in a Ziploc bag in the freezer, use the whole sock if you want, or cut off the bottom and use its top. And just have it to a cold compress. Is there something you and I can do when it comes to headaches that we can say, help myself, help yourself to migraine relief? What can you do? Migraines mean misery, but it's not just the agonizing pain or nausea that you have to deal with. Often migraines affect the way you view an entire life. You know that according to Richard B. Lipton, the professor of Albert Einstein College of Medicine in Bronx, New York, migraine sufferers are 3 times more likely to be depressed than people without migraines. So there's side effects of the migraine. And that's why if we can figure out what we can do, we can move it out of the way. Migraine and depression are strongly linked, Lipton says. Migraine and depression separately reduce productivity and majorly interfere with the quality of life. When the disorders occur together, they produce even greater effects than either disorder alone. They're teaming up on you. They're getting the best of you when they do both of them together like that. With a combination so potentially devastating, why take a passive approach? Play an active role in treating your migraine. The U.S. Headache Consortium, a panel of headache experts, came up with a set of guidelines to help migraine sufferers do just that. There are 10 steps they recommended. And we're going to talk about those. And then I was just looking to see how far back we were before we get to try these herbs and these supplements as a way for the truth about your sinus headache. What can you do? What is it that, here we go again, you take control and taking charge of your life, your health, and learning the ins and outs on what's beneficial for us. But let's talk about them. 10 things. First of all, understand your headache. Try to figure out when your headaches occur and what might trigger them. It helps to keep a headache diary where you can record all the details surrounding your headache, such as your mood, the foods you ate, your sleeping pattern, and anything else you might think to be related. Once your doctor diagnoses your problem, make sure you know what the diagnosis means. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Team up with a sympathetic doctor. Find a doctor who understands headaches and is willing to work with you to find the better treatment. Share your problems. Tell your doctor all your symptoms. Knowing how often and how seriously they disrupt your life will help you decide on the proper treatment. What's going on? Why is it going on? Why is it happening to you? Gun down triggers. Your headache diary will help you see what factors may trigger your headache. Your job is to avoid those triggers, the things that make it snap into a headache. Common headache triggers include, now, You would think when the person does this, they were doing something to help them relax. But watch how they put this together. Your job is to avoid these triggers. A trigger headache could be cheese, red wine, processed meats, nuts, caffeine, yogurt, and chocolate. New research revealed another potential culprit, and that would be wheat. Some people are sensitive to gluten, a protein found in wheat products. When they switch to gluten-free diet, your headache disappears. And you can do that on your own. It's something that's easy to do. Just get some wheat, bread, try it. If you notice that all of a sudden you get a dull headache, if you're eating things that have more wheat in them, or gluten, I should say, then you do what it needs to change it, okay? Discover what works for you. I'm giving you ideas. I'm giving you suggestions. I'm getting you to the point. You are your own doctor. You're the one that makes decisions based on the information you know that can be in your best interest, so it's not a problem. Sometimes over-the-counter medication will get rid of your headache. For example, Excedrin, Advil, and Motrin make products especially for headaches. Even acetaminophen, the active ingredient Tylenol, might help. Although amphetamine had not been considered an effective migraine remedy, a recent study showed it helped some people overcome their sensitivity to light and noise during a migraine. Be careful if you take the blood-thinning medication warfarin, because taking the two together might cause internal bleeding. Good advice, good information. Have a backup plan. Even the most confident schemers have a plan B. Ask your doctor to prescribe a rescue medication you can take if your usual medication doesn't work. Ask the doctor to help you with a backup plan. The great advance in migraine management over the last decade was the development of triptans, Lipton said. You can take triptans in the form of tablets, pills, nasal sprays, and injections. And be, concerned about what you're doing, and don't overdo it. Because if you take too much medication, you can actually get to the point you're dependent on it. Overuse can cause rebound headaches that occur as soon as the medication wears off. The other one is, if you're going to go the medication route, give your medication a chance. Try a treatment 3 times before giving it up. If after your 3rd headache it doesn't relieve your pain, ask your doctor for a new medication. Stop headaches before they start. Whoa. If you suffer from migraines several times a week, you may want to ask your doctor about a preventive medication. If you take it regularly, it will reduce the number of headaches you get. Ditch the drugs. Sometimes medication isn't the answer. If you're allergic, pregnant, or nursing, drugs can be dangerous. Or maybe you just don't like to rely on a medication. Instead of drugs, try alternative therapies like relaxation, training, biofeedback, stress management. Those are some of the natural things you can do. Give yourself the chance. Treat yourself good. Although migraine headaches cannot be cured, they can be effectively managed. Taking charge of your treatment is the best way to ensure you'll find something that works. Know your diagnosis, know yourself, be advised. There again, they're making it so you understand that it's your responsibility to find out what's going on. You can talk to who you need to talk to, find out what they have to tell you, but bottom line is, it's your mind, your body, your mind, your soul, and your spirit that's going to correct it. Develop a strategy preventing headaches and dealing with it effectively if one develops. Use healthcare professionals as a resource of developing the tools you may need. What I'm going to do, I'm going to ask Lee to run the little video about Remedy This Naturally and what it has to offer you. I think it's really cool. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk to you about why Remedy This Naturally is able to help you with natural choices, God's pharmacy, and be able to let your mind, soul, body, spirit, and total well-being be healed from what came from the Garden of Eden. Okay, Lee, if you're ready, roll the thing about Remedy This Naturally. That's a fast minute, folks. But there's a lot. I mean, we took that commercial and we spent a whole 57 minutes talking about the different pictures and stopping at a certain point and bringing it up and giving you the information that would be helpful to you. So it's exciting, really exciting to know that there are things that you can do naturally without the side effects of the pharmaceutical drugs. I'm not saying that there are not things you should not be concerned about, that you should be able to, it's just like you take and you put something on your plate and you have an allergy or a reaction, allergic reaction to it, just from certain foods and certain things. You gotta be aware, here again, it's up to you to make sure that you're okay. Something old and new for migraine blues. When it comes to migraine, there's no such thing as a sure remedy. A treatment that works for one person may not work for somebody else. Even your usually trusted medication doesn't always do the job, and you have to turn to an emergency rescue medication. That's why you never have too many options. Fortunately for migraine headache sufferers, new remedies may be just around the corner. There's a preview of 2 different fixes in the future, as well as a rundown on some tried and true migraine stoppers. Tried and true. That's where we want to be. The things that have come out and been used, and lidocaine patches, the anesthetic drug lidocaine has been tested in cream form and it works. Some you might be able to buy a lidocaine patch. That was one thing that was there, and I'm not sure if that's still available. Botox Injections, commonly called Botox, is very dangerous in high doses. So that wouldn't be something I want to learn. Just throwing you some things out here that people do and try, and but pay attention. Is there something that's new migraine treatment? A recent discovery that migraine sufferers often have overly sensitive skin during the headaches might open the door to a whole new research. Okay, in the meantime, let's brush up on some of the bystanders. They might be a state-of-the-art, time-tested remedies, have been hard to work. Try herbs and supplements. And there again, Remedies Naturally is all about God's pharmacy, all about what can we do and use that God made available for us in this particular instance for migraines. Feverfew, just will write that down, because Feverfew, I love it. The most successful of the herbal remedies, Feverfew has been a valuable fighter since. You want to know how long Feverfew has been around? What the track record is? You want to guess? You won't believe it, how far this goes back. But it's 78 AD. You can chew on fresh, freeze-dried, or heat-dried leaves to get the benefit of this herb, or take a Feverfew in a pill form. And they recommend 125 milligram capsule or tablet a day should do it. Feverfew. Make sure it's standardized 0.2% paratheniide, the main ingredient that reduces pain and frequency of migraines. Now, that's an herb. That's a plant that God created because He knew His children were going to have some issues they needed to deal with. And so Feverfew, and I was going to look up and look at some of the other things that are there for us in the let me see if we got something I didn't. Feverfew, page 70 in my book. Let's see what page 70 has to say about Feverfew. Okay? Feverfew. What part of the plant's used? It's the bark, the dried flowers, and the leaves. That's just basically the whole, anything above ground. Increases the fluidity of lung and bronchial tube mucus, promotes menses, stimulates the appetite, and stimulates urine contractions. Good for arthritis, colitis, fever, headache, menstrual problems, and muscle tension pain. Chewing the leaves is a folk remedy but this can cause mouth sores, which cause feverfew, and caution should not be used during pregnancy. So feverfew is one of the things that are there for us to be able to use. Another one, now, we're all familiar with this, and we use it. It's kind of like an everyday spice, and that's ginger. Mix some powdered ginger in a glass of water and drink it. That daily approach worked for a long time migraine sufferer in Denmark, who swears ginger soothes the pain and nausea of her headache. You can also munch on fresh, raw ginger or cook with it to harness its benefits. I like ginger. I love ginger ale. But and let me just tell you how I take care of the non-ginger in ginger ale. There's no ginger in there whatsoever. It may have an artificial but no real stuff. I get some powdered ginger and I put it into carbonated water. And if you want to take a ginger ale you bought and make it more potent, so to speak, but please, you can't really shake the carbonated up that well. I dissolve it first in water as best I can, and then put the ginger ale, the carbonated, over top of it if you're going to use that. Okay? Ginger, chemical and nutrient content, it's got a lot of stuff in there. I'm not even going to try to pronounce all these words because I botch them. But what happens? Why does ginger work for a headache? Cleanses the colon, reduces spasms and cramps, stimulates circulation, a strong antioxidant and effective antimicrobial agent for sores and wounds, useful for bowel disorders, circulatory problems, fever, hot flashes, indigestion, morning sickness, motion sickness, nausea, and vomiting. We most of the time, and if you ask somebody what they use ginger other than chasing their bourbon with, it deals with motion sickness, taking it an hour before getting on a transportation that you have trouble getting causes sickness. Okay? Also, so there's two things for the migraine in herb-wise: feverfew, ginger, and the other thing we're going to talk about in this is fish oil. The omega-3 fatty acids you get from fish oil capsules help stop inflammation and causes headaches. Fish oil supplements have also been shown to protect your heart. Eating fatty fish like tuna, salmon, or mackerel gives you a tastier alternative to pills. So, tastier. So that's another thing we can talk about when it comes to migraines. Okay, here's the other thing we need to talk about. Rely on vitamins and minerals. You know you need a certain amount of vitamins and minerals to keep your body running smoothly, but a little more of the following vitamins and minerals may mean the difference between a migraine and no pain. All right, let's get serious about this a minute. Let's talk this. Yeah, always have pencil and paper available when you listen to Claiborne talk about this stuff. It's important. Vitamin D and calcium. The Dino Duo has helped women who get migraines along with their period. A study showed that women not only have fewer headaches, they have fewer PMS symptoms. The same combination also relieves migraine pain of postmenstrual women. Drink vitamin D fortified milk for a double dose of protection. Okay. Magnesium, a deficiency of this mineral may contribute to migraines. Studies show that large doses of magnesium supplements can lessen the number of severity of these headaches. You can also find magnesium in oatmeal, sweet potatoes, brown rice, broccoli, peas, shrimp, and skim milk. So there's a way you can get it in your food. It's okay. Riboflavin. Take 400 milligrams of this B vitamin daily. Could slash the number of migraines you get in half. It's been shown to relieve headaches, pain as effective as aspirin without the side effects. Get some extra riboflavin in your diet by drinking milk, eating eggs, meat, poultry, fish, and green leafy vegetables. The truth about sinus headaches. You want to know that? Yeah, it's a good little 3 paragraphs here. You consistently suffer from sinus migraines, but over-the-counter painkillers don't help at all. If that's the case, consider your sinus headache could actually be a migraine. They could explain why your over-the-counter medications don't work, since migraines usually need much stronger medicine. To see if you might be one of the millions of migraine sufferers, ask yourself 3 questions. Do your sinus headaches happen often? Are your headaches interfering with your daily life? And do your headaches get worse over time? If you answer yes, yes and no, then your mystery headache could be a migraine. Watch for other symptoms like light sensitivity, pain in the side of your head, nausea or throbbing pain. Those are some of the things they had a little excerpt here in the book that talked about truth about sinus headaches. Okay. Is this beneficial? Is this helping? Thank you. That's what it's all about. You, your life. If the head, when this part up here has got issues, everybody, arm, hand, legs, feet, whatever, and also people who are surrounding us. Consider behavioral treatments. Maybe taking medication or even dietary supplements isn't for you. You might be able to beat headaches and migraines with the following approach suggested by the U.S. Headache Consortium. Relaxing training. All types of relaxing techniques could help you beat your migraine. These include that you teach you to control muscle tension, as well as those like medication that involve visualization and mental relaxation. Cognitive behavioral therapy, a fancy name for stress management. Cognitive behavioral therapy teaches you to recognize stress and minimize its effect. Biofeedback, thermal hand warming. Biofeedback combined with relaxation training, and then other things like biofeedback show promise as a migraine therapy. Those are some things, and also let's get to the nitty-gritty here as we finish up on this on the migraines. We got a little while to go. Got about 15 minutes left in the program. When a headache hides a serious problem. Now, I'm going to just give these out to you. Yeah, you definitely want to write some down. But, when a headache hides a serious problem, after staying up until 2 a.m., working on your taxes, your head starts to pounding and doesn't stop until you sleep for several hours. 9 out of 10 headaches are like that, uncomfortable but only temporary. But sometimes a severe headache strikes unexpectedly or shows up with worrisome symptoms. Get medical help if your headache seems unusual in any way, especially if you are over the age of 55. It could be hiding one of these more serious conditions. Now, we're going to talk about the conditions that could be coming from your headache here. Now, and I'll give you the symptoms. We'll talk about that. A stiff neck, nausea and vomiting, sensitivity to light, fever, and what we're doing here, these are symptoms for meningitis. Meningitis is a serious infection of the tissue surrounding your brain and your spinal cord. That's, if you got them, please find out what is causing it and what could be what the headache is hiding. Here is 3 symptoms. Weakness or inability to move one side of your body. Confusion. Drowsiness. If you have these symptoms, don't delay. Get help immediately. Those are symptoms for a stroke. Weakness or inability to move one side of your body, confusion, and drowsiness. Okay? Those are some of the things your physician is looking for when it came to stroke. The other thing here, I'll reverse what I did. I'm going to tell you what it is, and then we'll tell you the symptoms. Brain tumor. Okay? What could be symptoms of a brain tumor? Loss of vision, trouble talking, nausea or vomiting, and a seizure. Those are the things that could be, and your doctor would check out for brain tumor. A concussion. You got hit, and this is very important. Football season is playing right now, and you got the helmets on, but you're running into things, or other situations that you may quote unquote bump your head. Dizziness after a head injury, and what we're talking about now are conditions for concussion. Dizziness after a head injury, blurred vision or unequal pupil size, confusion and vomiting. Please, anytime these symptoms come up and we have to relate it to the head, be on the safe side of preventive. Find out, get it checked out. We have great ways of being able to diagnose this day and time in our lives. Glaucoma, dual pain around your eyes, an enlarged pupil, blurred vision, and watery eyes. Glaucoma. Dual pain around your eyes. I'm saying dual is dull pain around your eyes, an enlarged pupil, blurry vision, watery eyes. And then migraine. Sensitivity to light or problems seeing. Nausea or vomiting. Trouble or throbbing pain on one side of the head. Let me just tell you, because we talked about headaches and we talked about migraines. And a migraine, a little bit different here, sensitivity to light or problem seeing, nausea and vomiting, throbbing pain on one side of the head. And then the other one, sinusitis, inflammation in the sinus, sinus pressure, stuffy nose, and fever. Altitude sickness, vision problems, hallucinations, nausea or vomiting, breathing difficult, cough, bleeding in the retina of the eyes, weakness. These symptoms may occur at high altitude, especially above 10,000 feet. Get medical attention immediately. Your brain may be starting to swell. So one thing to get up in that airplane and get on that altitude. It's another thing to have it be a negative effect on us. If you're past the age of 50, take notice of headaches that start when you begin to exercise and go away when you stop. This could be a sign of heart disease, even if you have no other symptoms. Be sure to mention it to your healthcare professional. And that is, past age of 50, take note of headaches that start when you begin to exercise and go away when you stop exercising. This could be a signal for you to check out and see if there's heart disease, even if there's no other symptoms. That one's enough to be able to check it out. Old folk remedy. The next time you feel tension creeping up your neck and lodging in your head, try this headache remedy. You ready? You definitely need to write it down. Mix peppermint oil and eucalyptus oil and rubbing alcohol in a small bowl. Gently sponge the fragrant concoction over your forehead and temples. Avoid your eyes, definitely avoid your eyes. You should feel better in no time. I told you I really like eucalyptus when it comes to, and tofu oil. Those are things that are very helpful. But this was just an old folk remedy that folks used. And it says, next time you feel tension creeping up your neck and lodging on your head, try this headache remedy. Mix peppermint oil, eucalyptus oil, and rubbing alcohol in a small bowl. Gently sponge the fragrant concoction over your forehead and temples, avoiding your eyes. You should feel better in a little while. So then we're talking about peppermint oil, eucalyptus, a little rubbing alcohol, put a little bowl, sponge, and you go across to here and on both sides. And basically, eucalyptus is a disinfectant. It is actually killing the negative stuff in the air that we're breathing. So eucalyptus is very, very important. Peppermint oil, it's amazing how many things. Let me go back and look at my little thing right here. Okay, let me give you some other things about eucalyptus since it was brought up for that. Clears congestion, has a mild antiseptic action, and reduces swelling by helping to increase blood flow. Relaxes tired and sore muscles, good for colds, coughs, and other respiratory disorders. And is recommended for external use only. It should not be used on broken skin or open cuts or wounds. That's the eucalyptus. Let's give peppermint oil the same time here with this show we got right here. Peppermint enhances digestion by increasing stomach acidity. I like taking my little bottle of peppermint oil and putting me a little drop right here on the side of my finger, and I stick the finger, wash my hand first, okay? Stick it to the back and just let it go, and then it just close my mouth, and from the back side and the nasal back here, it will be wonderful in helping wake up and cleanse. Peppermint enhances digestion by increasing stomach acidity, slightly anesthetizes mucous membrane and the gastrointestinal tract. Useful for chills, colic, diarrhea, headache, heart troubles, indigestion, nausea, poor appetite, rheumatism, and spasms. Now, there's a negativity of this. If you are low in iron, may interfere with iron absorption. So, yeah, like I said, we've got all of these things that God created for us, but you have to use them with good common sense. I think it's really fantastic that we can take the time to talk about headaches, what they do, how they are affecting us and what we can do to make the changes in our life and our health. I want to run the commercial at the end, and we've got about a minute and a half left. Your life and your health are your responsibility. We at Remedy This Natural are there to help you. And hopefully today we talked about headaches. It will help you understand there's ways of dealing with them. And if you haven't tried, do the natural remedy and make sure that you check and become the best doctor you can for yourself. I'm your host, Claiborne Holtzman. May God bless you richly, and may He take care of all that's going on and let us get out of the way so it can be done. Here's the commercial. Remedy This Naturally. God bless you.